All right, guys, I'm going to be candid. I think Dokkaebi is going to get a nerf within the next patch or the patch afterwards. So either within the next season, probably not this season because Ubisoft's going to gather data, but either the next season, which I think is somewhat likely, and the season afterwards I think is going to be highly likely. This desperately needed haircut is sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a service that provides haircuts for men. Nope. Keeps provides services and products for men dealing with baldness. In fact, 2 out of 3 guys are going to experience some form of it by the time they reach age 35. Fortunately for you, Keeps has a 24-hour system of care specialists, medical advisors, and prescribers to help you out with that, and you can do it all from the comfort of your computer desk. But Keeps isn't just about keeping you from losing the hair, it's also about keeping care of the hair that you have. And they have tons of different products like conditioners, shampoos, and other sorts of things. To figure out what's right for you, you can schedule a consultation with a Keeps physician. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off of your first order, go to keeps.com/Gregor or click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/Gregor. And the reason for that is because Dokkaebi right now is the best utility attacker in the game, I think, when you don't count the hard breach necessitation. But the thing is, hard breach isn't nearly as powerful as it used to be. Like, yes, it is still big. It is still important to have, but more often than not, you know, the wall is not so much an afterthought by the attackers, but it is not as important as it used to be. And so Dokkaebi is able to leverage a lot of utility game here with her loadout. So let's just take a look at it. So the Gon 6 obviously is very useful. Right, get with the flashes, throw a couple flashes, get rid of a deployable shield. That's pretty nice.
What did you do?
Mute.
That is indeed.
I got the shield on concrete. You can also run EMP grenades if you want. The guns are very solid, right? Even if you don't want to run the Gon 6, the secondary options are solid as well. Mark 14 has a 60 damage rating. That's pretty high damage output. DMRs are a lot better than people give them credit for initially, I believe. But let's also talk about the gadget itself. So I have a scenario in my head, right? Let's say the site for Chalet, right, is basement. Defenders have gone basement. We have a top floor roam. We have somebody playing up here on pillar, maybe a warden, maybe an alibi, something like that. They haven't spotted the drone. You managed to get it here before they see it.
Bomb must be located and defused.
You get it in a pretty decent position. Right, this is nice to have, right? It's concealed, high ground, can't see it as easily. So we shoot the cam eventually, right? And they know that we're coming this way. So they're gonna get ready for that, right? If they're a smart team, they're gonna anticipate that. And so, conventionally, the way that you're gonna deal with this roamer is, well, there's a number of ways you can do it, right? You can go on solar side through big window, assuming that you drone out the adjacent rooms there. You can try going directly through K9, but, you know, there's also an adjacent room this way. So basically, in order to get this guy off of the pillar spot, you gotta do one of two things, right? The most direct approaches are either gonna be through the main door there and just suck it up and take the gunfight, and maybe you're cracked enough to do it, or you spam them out with the library take, right? Because you're exterior to the building, right? The building... How should I say this? The inside of the building is right here, right? And this is the outside. I know this sounds ridiculous, but just bear with me, right? So the actual amount of map, quote-unquote, right? The amount of map that you have to clear with drones and crap, right? Is less, because attackers can't run out and just chill, right? So attackers can chill here. Attackers can chill down West Main. So yeah, typically you're going to push them out either through K9 or through these windows here. But what if you are in a situation where you're pressed for time, right? And you can't really do that. Well, the most direct route would be through this main door. But you have a lot of crap to worry about, right? So you can drone this floor effectively enough, right? If you take the time to do it. But you might have to allocate a lot of drones, okay? Like bar's clear. Obviously the site is bar because I'm in a custom game, but you get the idea. Dining is clear, dining hall's clear. Okay, I think I'm good. But I still don't know about this fight up here, right? Also, it's a little bit of a one-way angle because of this lip. So you're gonna need support from somebody up here. this guy is going to anticipate this gunfight, right? So he has a lot in his favor. Okay? High ground, anticipating that you're coming already because you have to make sound cues. Lots of things. The other thing is this default cam. Oh, obviously I can't get on the default cam, duh. But you get the idea. This default cam in particular is really, really tough. This is a lot like the one in Clubhouse Garage where it's placed in a way deliberately to make sure that you have to move your crosshair, right, really far away. So you have to move the crosshair, shoot, and then try to come back, which is just pretty much, you know, unless you're Shroud, pretty much impossible. So how do you get around this? Well, you make sure that you don't set the timer to 2 minutes before you do an instructional video. Well, here's what I can do differently because I'm playing Dokkaebi, right? Okay. So this is a pretty common, by the way, you can take this drone spot if you want. It's a pretty common one that I do whenever I'm attacking this side on Chalet. I didn't get the parkour just exactly right, but
5 seconds to go.
you can get it on top of this little fireplace thingamajig.
You must locate
And it's nice and
defuse
concealed.
the
It
bomb.
gives you eyeballs on main stairs as well as the dining hallway to a certain extent, even blue, which is really, really cool. Being able to see two staircases at the same time is really awesome. So, back to the pillar guy. Right, we're spending like 3 minutes, 6 minutes talking about how to deal with one guy. But I really think this is what makes Dokkaebi so cool. Right? Because here's the thing. So, clearing this guy is not going to be as easy for Jackal or Lion to do. But it's a million times easier with Dokkaebi. Because when she does the call thingamajig, right? Obviously, like, okay, yeah, I know the person's pillar, right? Already droned him out, whatever. Duh. But when you call, what somebody's going to be typically doing... I'm going to pretend that this drone is a camera spot for a second. But what they're going to do, right? They're sitting on this pillar spot, and they're not going to... If they're smart, right? This gunfight is dangerous to contest, right? Because this is a common kind of... Where I'm standing right now is a common pre-fire spot to hold an angle from. Now, sometimes you're just better, right? This is kind of a high noon situation, just a 50-50 gunfight. Sometimes you're going to win it if you're just good. But if you're smart, right, you can... And I'm not saying that this play is bad, right? I'm just saying this is, you know, another way that you can play it. You can sit behind this and then wait, right? Because there's a sound cue. You get on the cam. Oh, there they are. Kaboom. Right, that's a lot easier, isn't it? But here's the thing. Right, so I'm going to be playing on this spot. And then Dokkaebi calls. Beep boop, and then I get kicked off of the camera, right? I can't see that anymore. So now I have to make a decision, right? I have to make a decision to either get out my phone and deactivate it, or take the gunfight knowing that my sound cue is giving my position away. Right? So I have two things. I either have to go through the animation lock, or take the gunfight on intel that I don't necessarily have. Right? Because I don't have this camera anymore. Another thing to keep in mind, and I mentioned Jackal and Lion earlier, and you're probably thinking, okay, what do Jackal and Lion have to do with it? So for the library take, okay, maybe Jackal is over here, and I'm the roamer, and I played a little bit in here. I was setting up some util, maybe alibi clones, and Jackal scans my feet, and then they find that I'm on pillar. But if I'm Jackal trying to go this way, and the roamer didn't go this way, or maybe the roamer didn't go this way, right? Anywhere the roamer doesn't go, Jackal can't ping. Dokkaebi can ping anybody, regardless of where they've been on the map, right? Her ability is global. She doesn't have to have any other kind of input. So it's more guaranteed value than Jackal or Lion, especially considering Lion only really works when the enemy has to move, right? It's a crowd control ability. So it has to be worked in tandem with other characters. And finally, Dokkaebi is rewarded for a successful roam clear, right? Why do I keep saying... I know I say this word way too much. First it was and ah, so I tried to cut out the and ah, and now I say right. Instead, I just replaced one filler word with another filler word. I'm working on it, I promise. Pay attention to the comms from my teammate here after I hack these cameras.
I can't tell if this guy... Wait, walk up Astra. If you can take, like, trophies, so I can repel him. One trophy.
One lady.
Got cameras.
One trophy, one trophy.
Concrete.
Thinking concrete.
Just missed every bullet on this guy apparently.
One pot red. There's only one side.
Don't
That's,
over the concrete.
that's in concrete.
Concrete guy
That's
down.
peeking study window.
Operator
That's the
standing.
study window. Coming AV dot now. Peeking from ping 5. Just slow walking.
Coaching
Top red
us
now.
on
Just still sat ping 5, holding from red stairs. Ran down as a warden, he won't be flashed.
Okay.
Peeking up red again. Nice.
I don't think you
Op
understand
4
how...
eliminated.
Just one bulletproof cam. Just one bulletproof cam that we hacked. Gave us a sound call earlier. Now, I could have confirmed the concrete guy, but it's nice to have that reassurance. And this bulletproof cam pretty much made a clutch from top red impossible. The main way that this guy could have won this is if he flanked all the way around, and then that wouldn't have been enough time. So in my opinion, there are tons of reasons to play Dokkaebi right now. Let's take a look at her pick rate throughout the recent Rainbow Six tournament in Yun Shopping. And yes, that is how you say it. I know. So we're looking at this from the Yun Shopping major relatively recently, right? This is an old version of the game before Solar Raid dropped, but it's still relatively current. And she actually has a ban rate. She has an 18% ban rate. That's more than Thatcher right now, since secondary EMPs got added. That's more than Therm, a hard breacher. That's more than Flores, who has more utility burn than Doke. It's more than Twitch, has an F2. Right? I just said it again. Sorry, but you get the idea. With a almost, well, I shouldn't say almost 50, but almost 40% pick rate. These are good operators. These are all good operators, guys. And she's sitting, you know, not, I wouldn't say towards the end of the, or I guess I could say towards the end of the distribution, because this is kind of a log scale, right? So she's at the very least, you know, middle of the pack. And I wouldn't even say middle of the pack. I would say that she's going to get more play. I think this is going to get higher. I think this is going to go up. And then we might be dealing with this again later, this whole nerf based off a pick rate thing. But I am going to keep an eye on Dokkaebi. I'm going to keep an eye on what teams are going to be doing with her, because I just have a gut feeling. I have a feeling that she's going to be leveraged a little bit more than how she's being leveraged right now. But that's just a game theory. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching the video. If it gave you some insightful Siege info, let me know. Give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Deuces.